on my computer. So this way, at least, Nora, we can post this when we're done. Let's start over again.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Larry. So we're trying to stay sane, not only with COVID, but with the forces of technology working against us.
Yeah. But the cool thing about technology is that this morning I was in this meeting and all I posted was a picture of my face so that for a while, they couldn't see me. And I made breakfast and I had coffee while people were yakking. Eventually I had to get on and they saw it. They made fun of my shirt.
Yeah. Oh, wait, let's do the power twins thing again. Have energy.
Okay, I'm Larry Welkowitz. I'm a psychologist, professor at Keene State College of Psychology. Nora Travis, Dr. Nora Travis is a professor of environmental studies at Keene State College. Nora, you've been following this whole COVID thing since the beginning. You nailed it from the beginning. I know I have to say it again because we're re-recording, right? So is it all right?
I appreciate it. I mean, the thing is, not only the irony is that, yeah, I predicted this stuff back in January.
I know.
And not just me. There was like a collective. I mean, certainly there was about 100 scientists being vocal on Twitter, and so if you extrapolate, I'm sure there's 100,000 people in the world that have been vocal since early January. The thing that concerns me now is we have to continue to be vocal, and so just in the last 2 days, there's been about 4 different articles published all across the state. The Union Leader just published an article from myself and a consortium of scientists, outlining that we need to have better testing and a better plan to get out of the stay-at-home. So, we're concerned that there hasn't been clarity, there hasn't been daily updates coming out of Concord, and we just want to give the governor advice. I mean, he has done some good things with the stay-at-home and closing the schools, but we're moving into the next phase. So I'm going to continue to advocate. So thanks for the shout out. I'll give a list of the papers at the end of the talk and people can go look for them.
Yeah, we should post that. And Nora, you penned a really good letter to the governor and I signed it, but didn't, just cheering you on.
Well, we
list.
Discussed it. We discussed the intent of the letter.
No, I completely supported it, and I was honored to be one of the, eggheads on that letter. I mean, we got some smart people in the state of New Hampshire, and
we all care. We all care.
That's why we're doing this thing, and we'll just keep doing this thing until it seems like we're not helpful or other people have taken over providing, plugging in with information. So, the idea is that I supply some psychology info, you supply some science info. We do this for 30 minutes a day until we don't have anything useful to add, and then we'll stop, we'll stop. And I'd like to thank all the people who have been emailing me. I got an email today from Heidelberg, Germany. Do you remember Lance Fortner used to be a therapist in town? He's listening from, he's been trying to figure out how to tune in from Germany. Gayatri from Mumbai. People from across the planet. We thought we'd just do this locally, and then we get feedback and more information. And it's very cool for us because we get to be sort of a hub of the wheel. And so I'll talk a little bit about psych stuff, and then Nora will talk about science stuff. But we got cut off yesterday, and we know we got cut off because I was playing some music in the background when we connected, and Facebook
right?
was copyrighted music that was being played, and they shut us down and sent me a nasty email, which was really amazing.
Big Brother is watching.
They could tell that I was playing John Prine in the back because John Prine just died of COVID related problems. So I've been listening to his music. Anyway, I want to say something about this. People are in a lot of struggling. They have family at home. Teachers are struggling with their students. As chair of the psych department, I have to reinforce my faculty to reinforce their students. parents have their kids in. So I just want to underscore this idea of who reinforces the reinforcer. It's a great line, right? We expect parents just to be reinforcing to their kids. We expect teachers to be positive with their students. We expect nurses to be positive with their patients. We expect the CVS cashier to be nice to us, but who reinforces them? And
Yeah,
so,
that's a great point. Great point. I don't think you can stress this enough, Larry. I mean, everybody now, especially in the role of service, right? A nurse, a doctor, a teacher, a parent, a spouse caring for someone that's sick, a neighbor helping another neighbor. And if we do nothing else, let's publicly let's give them that reinforcement, Larry. Thank you.
100%. You know, I have friends who are docs in Keene, right here, who are living in separate quarters from their families because they don't want to put their families at risk. I mean, come on, that's amazing. Um, I I just was over at the food co-op. I'm very chill with the people behind the cash register. I thank them, and I don't make one more endless silly joke about COVID exposure to them, which they don't want to hear. I tell
How was the tone there today? How was the tone? Well, when I went last week, it was very stressful.
you know I it's hard to tell.
Are you tone deaf? Is that what you're saying? You're tone deaf?
Maybe I was just very focused on being efficient and not giving them a hard time. You know, I know them all. These are people I've known for years, and so I can't smile through my mask. I wish that, and everyone, all the customers in there were not wearing masks. When you go in as a service to those grocery store workers, please wear a mask. Is that reasonable to say, Nora? You're the science person.
Yes. In fact, we just got a news story published in the Concord Monitor about the importance of wearing masks. And in fact, we encourage Governor Sununu to lead by example, because the science is showing that COVID is incredibly transmissible when it's asymptomatic, and the importance of wearing like a cloth face covering helps to prevent the spread of COVID. So we can all wear like a bandana or a made at home cloth mask, and we all should be doing that when we go to grocery stores or pharmacies or the post office or any place where we're going to see a lot of people. And I'm excited to report that, oh, I should actually bring this up. I wonder if I could show this on the screen, but you know, we've been sending a lot of these letters to the governor, right? And we don't hear anything back. However, last night,
You never write, you never call.
right, we never hear anything back
Maybe
from
we
the
can use
governor.
guilt. Can we guilt Governor
Right.
Sununu
I
into responding to
I
us?
think we are guilting him because
Oh, good, good.
wait, I'm trying to scan. I'm not really good at this. Oh my goodness, where is it? I know that oh, come on. I did
So
reach.
while you're looking for it, I'll say, you know, that Nora and I, we tell everyone. So don't feel offended. You know, we're telling everyone what we think.
Oh
So
yeah.
so
Yeah, we
when,
tell
you know,
everyone.
there's an old joke, an old Jewish joke about the old Jewish guy who goes into the confessional at St. Patrick's Cathedral, and he talks about all his sins, and the priest says, well, do 12 Hail Marys, and
Ah,
the old Jewish guy says, I'm Jewish, I'm not going to do that. And the priest says, well, why are you telling me this? And the guy says, I'm telling everyone. You know, that's the joke. We're telling everyone. So if you feel like we're pressing you too much, what are you showing us?
guess who that is? Who tweeted last night after, you know,
Oh, good. Okay, good. So, you know,
I'm happy. I'm
Nora,
happy. So
you are having an effect. You are really pushing the message, and and no good deed goes unpunished. I know that
I
you
mean, you know, I
catch some.
understand the man is not a scientist, right? He's not a
He's
scientist,
an
and
MIT grad. He should know better.
Okay, okay. And you know what? I get it. But I'm going to be the more politically neutral person here.
Oh, me
And
too. Me too.
yeah, yeah. And
If he
say,
does right, I'm happy, and that's good. When he does
well, you know, we need him to do better.
right,
Him doing better saves lives.
right, right. No,
And
I totally agree. Totally agree.
I think that uh I mean, I put a little tongue-in-cheek comment. I said in my tweet, Governor Sununu, you don't have to say the words. I see what you're doing. Thank you for listening. I mean, because
Yeah.
we're
Okay.
asking him to lead by example.
Sure.
And he did it. And you know what? If he doesn't want to publicly say anything, that's fine as long as he's listening, right?
100%. And thank you.
So,
Thanks to the governor. And what I also want to say is about mood. I just want to say something about mood. That look, we're all vacillating between. I don't know. Many of us. Some people say I'm fine. Some people say I'm better than ever. Some people are in really bad shape. I mean, Nora, we're working at a college, and I'm trying to keep my faculty moving, and some of them are, most of them are doing a great job. They're really a keen state. I think the college
I
has
mean,
done great.
we're hearing from our students such difficult stories. I mean, I think it's what people don't understand about, I think, about teachers K through 12 and also about college faculty is that we are hearing their stories, and especially now, our students are so sort of disconnected and isolated. I think there's a higher level of sharing, and these stories are just hard, and so that we take that in, and we're experts in a little tiny bit of a tiny bit of knowledge. We're not really trained to be therapists, and so I think for a lot of people, holding that is really hard for them, stressing our
Right.
faculty.
Right. And of course, it presses this question for us educators of what's the difference between education and therapy. I mean, we want our students, we want to see and hear and care for our students. That's just how I feel. And so I think it is imperative for us, regardless of our field, to say, how are you doing? It's not
Yeah,
hard.
no, I mean, I
How are you
agree.
doing? I mean, I'm having incredible conversations with students and faculty. Um, some of my faculty, I'm in a department where I'm one of the young ones and I'm not young, you know. So a lot of them are nervous, to say the least. Some of them are isolated, socially isolated. It's a tough go, and I think to ask how you doing really is a great thing to do. I want to say something about Passover. Can I?
Yeah,
Can I make a religious
it's
comment?
here.
I
It's
was
it's the Holy Thursday for us Christians.
day two. It's day two of Passover. Um, Nora, you and I have talked about how the Last Supper was a Passover Seder,
That
right?
is correct. Yep.
Wait, wait. Jew meets Catholic. We're okay.
Yeah, I don't even know what to call myself, but I do
Okay.
believe in Jesus.
The joke is, Catholic shame and Jewish guilt. It's a great
That is
combination.
true.
Um,
Yeah.
but Passover is all about hope, right? I mean, it's a story of hope. The Israelites are, you know, passed through the Red Sea, which parts because Moses says, "Please part the sea, God," and they find freedom and rescue through the Exodus, and it's a great story.
Moses was very OG. He was the OG.
OG, which I now know does not mean orange juice.
Mhm.
um, OG, tell me again. OG is
Original gangsta.
original gangsta. Yeah, yeah. And Jesus was the first nonviolent revolutionary. Um, so it's a story of hope. And last night, Jews across the planet with their friends who are non-Jews did seders across the planet. I participated in 2 of them with people on Zoom, and I ate together with people from across the planet, and it was really
Wow.
really touching. One was a family one that I ran, and one was with the our local rabbi who included me in her family uh, service, Seder, and it was just really cool, and at the end we say, at the end of the Seder, you say, next year in Jerusalem is this thing you say, like that's the goal is to meet in Jerusalem, and everybody said next year in person, please, and that's the
Right?
hope.
I
That's
mean,
the hope.
how crazy is that we're entering this very significant weekend, and we talked about this yesterday, but Facebook censored us. Um, and it's a very
Because of
significant
John
weekend.
Prine, right?
Maybe it was because we ventured into Passover, Easter territory. I don't know. I mean, but it's a very sacred weekend for a lot of Americans. And so it's a weekend that is going to be especially hard since many of us are used to getting together in real time, physically, with our families, with our friends, sharing food, sharing supper. I mean, usually Christians, it's Sunday. We go on Sunday and do it, not Thursday. Hi, Misha. Hi. My blood pressure just went down. It's all, you can't have enough good cat interruptions.
I just want to say this cat was a stray at Keene State College, left in the dorms at the end of the year.
That cat is your spirit animal. I mean, he
love,
really is.
love the Mish. Yeah, go
But
ahead.
yeah, so, we want to acknowledge and tell folks we get it. Like, I'm sad. I'm fighting. I'm out there. I'm acting as if you gave really good instructions about acting as if, because, even though it's grudgingly, even though it's slow, even though it's unwieldy, I'm also seeing a lot of amazing people working behind the scenes, people that contact me, people who entrust me with their confidence, and they are working their asses off, and they're
100%.
working for us. And
100%.
so I know that we're stumbling toward positive news. And my message then is, we have to hold the line on social distancing. Really only go to the store if you have to. I've been going about once a week, which is amazing, with a kid that eats 6,000 calories a day,
He's like
to
a
make it
pancake
1 week. So I'm, go only when you have to, only if like your roof is leaking or the toilet breaks.
Right.
Just stay home, or go for a walk, go for outside. Vitamin D, but this is the really critical
Vitamin
time to
D
hold the
actually is a good
line.
idea. Vitamin D is a good idea. I read that as a recommendation also from the CDC
Yes,
to take vitamin D. I'm not, but I get
I'm
out.
taking vitamin D. I'm taking
Yep.
vitamin, especially a day like today. It's miserable and
Yeah, yeah.
rainy.
Right,
It's not a good day to go walking, but
right. There's no
that's,
pouring
yeah.
in Keene, right?
My best day this week was a 2-day walk in the woods. Not 2-day, 2-hour walk in the woods, and
100%.
it was really, really good. So, stay the course. I can't believe I just quoted Bush, but it's a good line. Stay the course on the social distancing. Wear a face covering if you have to go to the grocery store, but now is the time to really hunker down, because it's going to make a difference. It's going to, it is in other parts of the country. And
Right. I want to quote Arthur Ashe too, who was a great tennis player who I loved in the 70s,
yeah,
when I
he
was
was
a
the
kid.
man. He was the OG tennis player.
He was, man, and he kept it up. And, he died of AIDS with a bad
Yes.
infusion, years ago, and before the good drugs came out. But he said, "Start where you are, use what you got, do what you can."
Wow, that's great. I need to hear that again, Larry.
Start where you are, use what you got, do what you can. We can't do everything right now. You know, we're doing the best we can, right? As teachers, as parents, as doctors, nurses, grocery store workers. Um, just what can you do today? What can you do? And be easy on yourself if you find you can't do everything that you wanted to do. If you do one thing on your list today, good. Make sure you dance. I just sent a had Spotify on this morning, and I don't know how I stumbled upon it, but the Jay Giles band from when I was young, and they rock it, man.
Oh my God, what was that song? Centerfold?
Centerfold.
Yeah.
We watch out, don't sing it, or else Facebook will kick our butts off.
I know. Well, also, you know, it's funny because
My
I
angel
think
is
that's
the centerfold or
I
something.
think it's a funny song, right? It's a funny song, and it definitely reminds me of a certain time. And yet now, I think a lot of people would think that song is not PC. You know,
Oh, right. Well, none of those songs are PC anymore.
I
Um,
miss those songs though.
so, so I heard it and I group texted it to like all my, my people, like anyone who I thought could tolerate it. I thought you were too young, so I didn't put you in that list. And I just, you know, my friends in Telluride, my friends in my docs at the hospital, I just said, dance, exclamation point, Jay Giles band. And I don't know, we'll see if any of them actually did. Not that everyone should be in the same mood I'm in at the same time. But man, that was good
Thinking
stuff.
of them, you know, you're thinking of them, and I get that. Like because maybe
Send a song.
yesterday was a very stressful day. I mean, we really worked hard, and journalists have deadlines, so we worked very hard to get our information out there, our facts, our concerns about the lack of testing in New Hampshire, our suggestions how to move forward. And so it was very stressful. And so if you had sent that to me and I saw that in the middle of my day yesterday, I might have been like, how can you be having fun? I'm so stressed. But I would have appreciated it later. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I would have been like, oh, now, so you do what you can. And then when people they're ready to receive it, they'll appreciate it.
Nora, as always, just talking to you makes me feel better.
Yes, well, I hope that we sharing our calm reassurance and psychology and science with the world will get us through another day. And we'll work
100%.
on the tech, and then maybe next week we'll start having other guests.
So maybe this made it through the Facebook Live, or did we get kicked off again?
I don't even know.
But okay, so
I did see it was going again. Hold
we'll
on.
save it. I'll save it.
It was going, and I think it cut in at 16 minutes.
Okay, we're getting better. Okay, Nora Travis, thank you. I'll talk to you soon, and I'm going to stop this recording. And
bye, Larry. Bye, everybody.